You ever had that moment when you just want to drop everything, buy a one-way ticket to some remote island and live your best life? No responsibilities, no consequences, just pure unfiltered freedom? Yeah, me too. And just like that, reality slaps you like an unpaid bill. Because let's be honest, can we ever make choices without consequences? Are we truly free to live without consequences? Or is it this whole idea of just another illusion designed to keep us in check? Freedom feels like this magical, limitless concept, and in theory, it is. You can do whatever you want. You can leave your job tomorrow, ghost your friends, even though that's not always a good idea, or even just go live in the mountains like a hermit. But there's always a catch to it. In the words of one of my very favorite comedians, Eddie Griffin, he says, "To be free, you must be dumb." But then that's not what we're talking about here. Freedom always comes with a price. Every action and every choice has some sort of ripple effect. Now is the time to bring in the nerds. I mean, the philosophers for a second. Jean-Paul Sartre, however that name is pronounced, one of the existentialists, argued that we are condemned to be free, meaning we have the power to choose, but we can't escape the responsibility of those choices. Even a decision to not make a decision is a choice. Have you ever ghosted a text, a friend, and later regretted it? Yep, sadly. You chose inaction and boom. Let's bring our attention to the butterfly effect, the idea that a tiny action can lead to massive consequences. One small choice you make today can change your entire future, or maybe the most part of it. I get it, but before you say, come on, Rufai, is that not too dramatic? Let's talk about real life examples. Ever heard of Franz Ferdinand? No, not the band, the guy. His assassination in 1914 set up World War I, 1914, the kind of things that have happened in the past. But anyway, one person pulling a trigger led to a chain of events that shaped the 20th century. Like small actions, big consequences. So if everything has consequences, does that mean we're never truly free? And I think here's where it gets tricky. There's a difference between freedom of choice and freedom from consequences. You can choose to break the law, but you're not free from getting arrested. Again, you can tell or flip your boss off, but you're not free from getting unemployed or being fired. You lose your job, something would do. Even the richest, most powerful people aren't exempt. It might look that way in modern times, but there's always a cap. Think of your favorite celebrity or your favorite celebrity. One bad tweet from 2010 surfaces and suddenly they're taking accountability in a 5-minute apology video that they who beg pass. But here's the paradox. We want freedom, but we also crave structure. Absolute freedom means absolute chaos. No rules. No limits. It's anarchy. So I have a question for you, and this is a very serious one. Would you really want to live in a world where everything goes? I mean, I could say yes because of my own selfish reasons, but then where everything goes then also means that I could become a victim to something somebody actually doesn't mind doing to me or wouldn't mind seeing happen to me. No loss, no consequences, no accountability. Sounds cool, right? Until your neighbor decides to borrow your car or your house indefinitely. Yeah, that reminds me of something that happened to me years ago. But yeah, I'd rather not even go into it because yeah, that could lead to one or two other things. It could get me into trouble if I talk about it. But so maybe the goal isn't to live without consequences. Maybe it's about owning our choices and understanding that consequences aren't always bad. Some of the best things in life, relationships, careers, personal growth, come from making difficult choices and dealing with the effect. It's about striking a balance. Yes, I know I said it. I'm a Libra, so yeah. Allow me. You can chase your dreams, but you still have to pay rent or mortgage. Seriously, that's yeah. You can live a carefree life, but you might have to deal with people calling you irresponsible. And the other side of me is like, yeah, that's your own problem. But I still have to live my life anyway. I mean, in most cases, I always say, if you have a problem with me, then that's your problem, not my problem. So here's the real question. How much freedom do you actually want? Are you willing to trade some stability for adventure? Or do you prefer structure with fewer surprises? Guys, there's no right answer. One thing for sure, no matter what you choose, there's always a consequence. And maybe that's what makes life interesting. Yeah, I'm just thinking about stuff that I would really love to do. And the consequences that would come, well, I guess when they do, we'll find out. But hey, what do you think? Can we ever make choices without consequences? Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. And hey, before you leave, I want you to make this one choice. Hit that like button and subscribe. No consequences here, just good karma.